In our last example, we're asked to sketch the graph of the solution set to the system of inequalities. So really it's the same type of question that we just answered. The only difference this time is you have one of your inequalities, there's no y, so that means that you do not have the option of putting this into the y equal mx plus b form like we worked with earlier. That's the only difference though. So let's just talk about this one for a second. I like to use this to show that that's my system, so I just put that little curly brace on it just to keep them together. But what if you were asked to graph just a regular line x equal 9? What would that look like? You would find 9 on your x-axis, and then you would draw a line that passes through this point, but what kind of a line should it be? Well, you want to find all the points that have an x value of 9. So if x is 9 when y is 0, or when y is 1, you would be here. When y is 2, it would be here. So what would happen is that line x equal 9 gives you a vertical line that passes through 9 on the x-axis. So your line's going to look like this. Okay, this one includes the equals. Okay, so you see you've got the equal sign along with the inequality symbol, so that just means that you want a solid line. And I'm going to adjust my camera just to make sure that you can see the board like you need to. Okay. And then how do you shade around that? It said x is less than or equal to 9. So less than would be all the x values that are smaller than 9, so it would be everything to the left. So x less than 9 would be this way. And of course we know not all of this is likely to be used, so we'll probably end up having to trim some of it off. So if you're using, you might not want to do this with an ink pen, you need to be doing it with something that you could erase. But that takes care of the x less than or equal to 9. Of course, if it did not have the equals with it, you would have just used a dotted line here instead of a solid line. And then we need to graph y is less than x minus 4. So we'll go back to our slope-intercept form for this one. So y equal mx plus b. Okay, my y-intercept is -4. So that's going to put me here. So I know that point's on my line. My slope comes from here, it's 1. So I could do rise over run, 1 over 1. So go to my point that I found. I'm going to rise 1, run 1. I get a point at, looks like 1, -3 here. And then I can get another point. If I go back, I could do -1 over -1. That's still +1. So go back to my y-intercept. I can rise -1, run -1, that gets me there. What type of line do I need to draw? This one is strictly less than. There's no equals with it, so that means I want a dotted line now. Connect these using a dotted line. You need to draw your line long enough so that it will intersect the line that you drew earlier. So I have to extend mine out a little bit to get on the touch. And I need to go back and make this a dotted line because it was not equals. Strictly less than. Okay. I'm going to label it y equal x minus 4. The other one was x equal 9. And where do I shade around this line that I just drew? It says y is less than, so that means I'm going to shade below. So everything below my dotted line should be shaded. So this is where you might want to grab another color. But you only are interested in where those two graphs overlapped. So we didn't shade over here earlier, so we're not going to have this as part of our answer. You don't even have to worry about shading it now. You can see it's going to be in this little wedge shape. That's where the overlap occurs. Okay, so, and then you can go back and trim out all this stuff. We don't need any of this. This gives us our answer. And this is as difficult as the problems are going to get in this section. This is your answer. The only thing that I can think of that I have not shown you is maybe if you had a system that had an extra little piece to it. So if you had a system of equations, maybe y is less than 2x plus 4, and maybe y is greater than or equal to x minus 5, but then you have x is greater than or equal to 0, y is greater than or equal to 0. These two pieces together, and I don't know if you can see that, I hope that's showing up, but if you've got x, I'm worried about it, so I gotta see if you can see it. Is it on there? Yeah, it's on there, okay. So if you've got that x greater than or equal to 0, y greater than or equal to 0, that just means that it's going to put you just in the first quadrant. You're only interested in this section of your graph. None of this is relevant. Okay, so that's because if if all the x's are positive and all the y's are positive, that's just going to put you up here. So that's the only extra thing that I can think of that's going to happen in the homework. So this should get you through all of the section 8.5 assignment. It's not very long, so good luck with it, and let me know if you have any issues. Good luck.